The recently approved importing tariffs will impose a 25% tax on steel and 10% on aluminum to every country but Mexico and Canada, which are its closest allies and part of the NAFTA. These trade tariffs are expected to take effect until March 23, 2018, which is 15 days from the announcement in March 8, 2018. The expected winners from the higher tariffs are steel and aluminum industries, although economic studies have demonstrated that previous trade barriers upon these industries in the past, led by presidents such as Lyndon B. Johnson, Richard Nixon, Jimmy Carter, and Ronald Reagan, were put due to lack of innovation and declining consumption. The expected losers are industries who use steel and aluminum as an input, such as the automobile, aerospace, energy, and construction industries, who will see their manufacturing costs increase. This trade tariff measurement is expected, according to diverse economists, to cost 1,000 jobs of these industries, which could further take a toll on aggregate demand and make it shift or displace to the left. Another scenario is that the steel and aluminum domestic industry is not able to provide the industry demand, and prices were just too high to import, which will present a supply shock and make a displacement to the left on the short run aggregate supply.
Since industry costs will increase, this will probably translate into higher prices to consumers for products whose industry uses steel and aluminum as an input. Consumption or demand for basic products will remain steady, while demand for normal or superior goods will see a displacement to the left in the supply and demand graph. This will happen due to reduced purchasing power of customers who will be offered with the same products, but at higher prices, concluding in a lower consumption or demand. If Mexico was to be included in the trade tariffs, since it is the fourth major importer of steel coming from the United States, it will shift its imports to another country with cheaper costs. Therefore, Mexico's aggregate supply and demand could present two cases. The first one, where the supply and demand will probably remain steady if steel and aluminum imports were to be shifted to another country with similar prices, or the second one, where supply and demand can see a displacement to the left since there would be lower steel and aluminum importation, which would translate into higher prices and lower consumption. This would happen if it didn't find another country from which it can import steel or aluminum. As exemplified by the movements in the graph, a pure shift or displacement to the left in the aggregate supply would heighten the equilibrium price, causing an upward movement along the aggregate demand curve, while a pure shift or displacement in the aggregate demand to the left would cause a lower equilibrium price, causing a downward movement along the aggregate supply curve.